Hi, I'm Gwyneth, and we're back with another tips and tricks. So today I'll be demonstrating how to apply a caulk at a seam between two pieces of installed Acrovyn sheeting. Now, if a caulk seam is required for your project, you're always going to want to make sure that you're referencing the thermal movement chart within the supplemental instructions for the Acrovyn wall covering, and that's just to accommodate any expansion and contraction of those install sheets. Just a helpful reminder, you never want to make that gap between the sheets less than 1/16 of an inch. So I'll go ahead and get started with my demonstration here. I have my regular painter's tape that I'm going to apply at the seam. Now I'm going to make sure that it's as close to the edge of that Acrovyn sheet as possible, and that's to prevent any excess caulk from getting onto the sheet itself. If that does happen, just make sure that you get rid of it as soon as possible with a little bit of warm water and a towel. So I will go ahead and tape my edges. Again, making sure it's as flush as possible. Okay, so now that I have my tape applied to our Acrovyn sheets here, I'm going to go ahead and apply that caulk seam. So I will grab my caulk gun. And I'm going to start at the top here and then just follow that seam, making sure that I am applying enough caulk at that joint. Probably do just one more layer here just to make sure I've got enough in between those two pieces of sheet. Okay. And then I'm going to take my tool here and then even out that caulk, giving nice pressure just so that it evens out between the two pieces of sheet again. Probably go up two, just to make sure it's filling in that seam. Okay, now that we have our caulk applied, you typically want to wait 4 hours to allow it to cure. Of course, we don't have the full hours while we're filming the video, so I'm going to remove my tape here, and I'll just want to make sure that I'm pulling out and away from that Acrovyn sheet. Remove that bottom one, and then I'll remove my second piece. Now between coats of caulking, you'll want to make sure that you're allowing at least 24 hours, again, to ensure that that caulk seam has cured properly, but you do want to make sure that you are applying a second coat to ensure that smooth finish between the two pieces of sheet and that seam. And that'll do it for another tips and tricks.